Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
You're like a circle that floats around me.
In here, you all in the comments, let me know what you all think. Poke some holes, right? Lord, sorry, this much. Guys, thanks for watching. Lord. All right, time to go. Please tell the people the team that you back to, please.
Well, I can show you. That one right there.
God. I'm gonna edit that out in post, right?
Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion. We go live in 10. Number 9.
8. Yo! 7.
Number 6.
5.
Entry. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, and welcome to a very special episode of The Pick. Normally, we'll be doing Champions League fantasy, normally doing EPL fantasy, NBA cricket, anything, but this time we are covering AFCON 2022. It will be starting this weekend. And we, of course, anything fantasy, the Fantasy Pavilion will be there. And of course, I'm joined today by Ladimus Prime of First 11. They are doing some great work there on his channel and on his Twitter account where they'll be covering the AFCON as best as possible and trying to bring some awareness. So welcome, Ladimus. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to AFCON, and yeah, thank you for having me on. And I don't know, I'm kind of nervous, but yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No problem, bro. So why should people be giving more respect to AFCON? We've been seeing some horrible comments lately. People saying, why we bothering? Why they having the tournament? Talk to me. Because there's a lot of talent, right? If you just look at the fantasy picks that you have, right? The options that are there. The talent is crazy across the whole tournament. Not just your typical Cameroon and your Ghana. A lot of other teams have a nice sprinkle of talent. So why AFCON?
Why does it get disrespected? I don't know. I think it's maybe because it's played mid-season. Some people would say, because it's Africa and a bit of maybe unbiased or subconscious, I guess, racial undertones. I wouldn't say that because I'm not someone to immediately play that sort of card. But it gets too disrespected. And especially, yes, maybe in the past 20, 30 years ago, there weren't as many top class or world class African footballers. But even then, there are quite a little of the bunch to pick from. Like, for example, JJ Okocha, you had, George Weah and the likes. But now, for example, look at Mohamed Salah. People are saying is the best player in the world. Edouard Mendy is, some people were saying, Chelsea fans, I'm a Chelsea fan, by the way, saying that he was robbed of winning the Yashin Award. He's African. Look at Sadio Mane. You have the likes of Naby Keita. You have Koulibaly, who is top 5 centre backs in the world. A brilliant world class centre back. Wilfred Zaha, who's been tearing it up in the Premier League for so many years at Crystal Palace. There's a plethora of names I could, continue to go on with.
Correct.
The brilliant tournament that's, close to my heart. I like watching it. I've been watching it since 2013. And I don't know, I really love the tournament, and it doesn't get the praise and the love the Euros gets, because for people, Jurgen Klopp, big prominent note of it, he was coming out and saying that it should get cancelled or shouldn't be played because players were missing. So many fans are coming out on Twitter and stuff saying that as well. I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Last year the Euros was played across, last summer the Euros was played across just about every country in Europe. teams having to travel. No one spoke about COVID and the
Correct.
danger that it shouldn't be played at all. But a tournament played within a
Continent,
country,
yeah. One country.
you know, which again, most international tournaments are supposed to be played within a country. Yours is being played within a country. Why is it now becoming a problem? Because we know it occurs every 2 years. So as a team or as clubs, you should plan that one of your best players, if he's one of the best players in your team, more than likely he's going to be picked to play for his country. You should have plans in place that if he's missing, do we have a player that can maybe step in and fill in for a month or so? That should be your thought process going in. I don't like this. I debated this in my group chats. People saying that clubs should be allowed to say players can't go to play for their country if possible. But why is it something that's only mentioned when it's towards AFCON? I didn't hear that being mentioned, during the summer and saying that, for example, the Liverpool players should say, or Liverpool should say Jordan Henderson shouldn't play for England, or Rashford, who's been playing with an injury for about a year or two, he should say, United as a club should say Rashford cannot go to play for England because he's still injured and we need him for next season. No one spoke about that. But now that it's AFCON, Liverpool should say Salah and Mane can't go. Chelsea should say Mendy can't go, or postpone when they should leave, because Mendy, Salah, Mane, they were supposed to leave earlier, but because
Correct.
of the whole Chelsea game and stuff, the clubs spoke and tried and postpone them leaving. Even though I'm a Chelsea fan and we need Mendy, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I don't stand by that. As an African who loves watching AFCON, these players should be allowed to go. You can't have it in their contracts. Or, as bad as maybe this sounds, if you know this is going to happen and it might be a detriment to your season, don't sign African players.
Well, all right.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah,
Simple
and
as
that,
that.
again,
No, simple, yeah.
That kind of sounds bad because that's it sounds bad for me to say.
Extreme.
It's stunting the growth of African players and stuff. But if you know what's going to happen, you have to have safeguards around it. Because,
Correct.
for example, next year this year actually, we're in 22. Wow, this year,
Yeah.
the
World
World
Cup.
Cup is going to be played, during the winter.
Yeah.
And is that okay? Like,
Yeah.
are we allowed? Because if we're not having AFCON because it's mid-season, what does that mean? I'm assuming we're all not going to watch the World Cup then because it's also during mid-season. Are we going to put up a fuss about it? But no, because people want to see the World Cup. People want to see Euros. They'll watch Copa America because Messi's in it. Why won't you guys give the same attention towards AFCON? You've got Mohamed Salah, you've got Mane, Koulibaly, you've got Mendy, you've got Wilfred Zaha.
Hala. You have a lot of
Hala.
big talent. Yeah.
I haven't even mentioned Riyad Mahrez yet.
No.
Haven't mentioned Abraham Hakimi. You've got so many.
Yeah.
When I was picking, and we'll get onto the fantasy later, but when I was picking my team for the fantasy, there were players there that I didn't think about Haller, and he was part of the list. I didn't think about Kelechi Iheanacho, who had an amazing 2021 as in terms of his year, winning the FA Cup with
Leicester,
beating Chelsea, scoring the winning penalty in the Community Shield against Man City, having a brilliant year. Wilfred Ndidi, one of the best DMs in the world. I haven't mentioned him yet. So many wonderful world-class players we have on show, and yet people just want to disregard it because it's mid-season, or because you don't fancy it, or because there's a bit of a perception around African football or African footballers that they're not that good. But yet the best players in the world, the majority of them are African players.
Correct.
Yeah. Sorry.
And you were seeing that as well in the qualifications. I mean, Salah and those guys weren't even part of the squad for the qualifications. It's only coming down to the end when they really needed them, they start bringing them in.
Yeah, and
So
it's not fair.
they won't really stay. They won't release for the qualification. So
yeah, and that's not fair for clubs to do at all. Because people can say, oh, but clubs employ these players. Yes, but if it's not part of the contract to say we can stop you from going to international football, you don't have a right to stop them. And they also don't have a right to put that in the contract anyway. I don't know. Sorry for rambling and stuff.
No, it's fine.
that's
It's
part of
fine,
it.
man. No, that's part of it. That's part of it. Right. This is our first, and this is our first international tournament that we're covering. So we're very excited,
Yeah.
and we have to do. You have to cover everything. You know, you have to talk about everything that comes with it, because and not just sending out the players, but also and not just having contingencies. But to be fair to some of the clubs this time, COVID is an issue. So not necessarily with the players going, but of course your contingency might have COVID. So the players that would have been replacing Salah, Mane, you never know. Might, but again, that's not their fault, and the tournament has to go. And I'm glad that it's happening. It's a good distraction, something else to look at. I'm glad that we have it. And as you rightfully said, when you're trying to pick the fantasy players, there were some guys that I was like, yo, right. I forgot how yo, and it was spread across nicely. I must say, it's not like when you're watching other tournaments where only maybe if there's 20
Yeah.
countries, five have all the talent. It's spread out
It's
real
all the teams
nicely.
have at least, yeah,
Yeah.
and
As
expensive. We've seen it in the price as well, yeah.
Yes, yes, fully agree. Right. So let us know before we get into the fantasy, let us know, Ladimus. So what it is that First 11 is doing in regards to AFCON. Where can the guys find you, of course, and when are the previews, when are the watch alongs, what are the plans for your AFCON coverage?
Yeah. So yeah, this is something that, like, again, I was saying since last year, especially during the Euros, we did a lot of Euros content. We were doing watch alongs. I'm not someone who's like, I like the idea of doing fantasy, but I'm someone who, I've done fantasies before with my fans, like for Premier League and stuff. And within a few weeks, I'll end up forgetting one game week to update my team, and then I'll forget the next one and the next one. And by the time I know it, 2 months is gone, and and we're about to enter November, and I'm dead last. So I just kind of give up. But I took it seriously during the Euros, because I was just like, oh, there's a Euro fantasy. This would be good content for the channel.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah,
We created
yeah.
it. I didn't expect many people to watch. They enjoyed the stream with previews for the Euros. We started doing watch alongs for the games. People loved it. So I was just like, this is something I would like to do for AFCON. Would people be willing to watch? I didn't think, I'll be honest, didn't really think people would be down to see it or view it, but I was just like, I'll just do a few watch alongs. If people don't watch it, it's fine. Whatever it is, what it is. And myself and Dizzy, we've been kind of talking back and forth about AFCON during the summer. He's Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian, talking
Right.
smack about my country. And I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. But the fact of, he actually put the word out for people. If they were interested, I didn't think people would be. And then him and I talked. I created this group chat like a few days ago, and he started just adding. I was thinking, who do I add in? Who would be interested? And by the time I looked, if a few minutes later, he just added a bunch of people in, added you guys, and I was just like, this is awesome. I'm kind of about to be a bit emotional. People actually want to be part of it. I'm doing,
Yeah.
we're doing a preview on Saturday at 10 p.m.
Yes, yes.
The fact that I just typed in, we're preview 10 p.m. Will people be willing? Because I didn't think people would be, even though they're in the group chat. They're like, yeah, I'll be down. I might be working, but I'll let you guys know. The fact that there'll actually be people here, and it won't be just me waffling or rambling along. There'll be people there of different nationalities that can actually give me more insight than what I have. I'm Nigerian. I only I watch other African teams, but my main focus is my country.
Yeah.
I only be able to speak about my country. Dizzy will be there. You've got Gunnar Express and different people who watch
different teams. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like kind of amazing. And like, if I can, do that, and it's something that can, in terms of people, it'll take off. People will actually come towards the channel and watch it and be interested in actually watching AFCON. Like, and if I don't know, look, I'm not, big or anything in the scene. I'm not like, an AFTV. I'm not Sky Sports, whatever.
Right.
So, but if I can get some eyes towards it, however many hundreds or whatever, and get some more people to like kind of respect African football, and then that can replicate. They'll tell their friends and stuff like that, and by word of mouth, and just getting people to respect African football. If I can do that with whatever social media status or whatever followers I have, that'll be amazing. I don't know. That's just something I want to try and do, and hopefully we can be successful in doing it, and we can, we do it together. And I'm just thankful that you guys can have me on your channel and I can just talk about this.
Yeah, man, of course. And well,
Well, I
don't
mean, this tournament is like perfect for that then because it's short. It's only like 3 weeks, right? So you don't have to, you won't forget about it. And then you're going to finally see all the players from the Premier League and for Champions League and everything who are actually African players. Because when they're inside the squad, right, you don't really know where they come from or what country they're from, right? So now that they're actually in AFCON, you're going to see their you'll be able to relate who like Nindini and Mane and whoever else you see in Premier League, you'll be able to see them performing for their country now. So you get to be able to tie everything in there.
Yeah.
So
like, well, I am adopting Mali for this tournament. Right. The name of my team is Let's Go Mali. Right. I did some research, so I'm ready for Saturday. I'm still doing research, right? But I've adopted Mali. That's my team because of Basuma. Love Basuma, and they actually have some decent defenders. So I'm watching them. So I am.
Basuma. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of Basuma.
Yeah. You see? You see?
The talent that we have. I didn't even.
Guys, you see? He mentioned about 12 players and still miss Amate, Basuma, right? Still miss these guys. So that's to tell you, it is mad. The options to pick from is mad. As I said, forgetting the fantasy for now, but the talent on display, the guys that we see the week in, week out, right? Because we do FPL, Kevin, so we see them weekly, right? And not just Premier League, there's about 12 guys from Bundesliga as well that should be represented. Great talented as well that are playing as well too. So a lot of the leagues all around the world are represented well.
As well, yeah. And also you'll also get some talented youngsters that people don't like. For example, Nigeria, we have one.
yeah, Nigeria has a really young squad, a really young squad. That's really good.
Like we have Samuel Chukwueze, who's
right. Yeah,
I would love him at Chelsea one day, but he's not ready yet. He's still young and raw.
Right.
But
Iheanacho.
He'll be out there showcase. Iheanacho, there's no Osimhen, and Iheanacho will be tasked to lead the line for us. You know, there'll be pressure, but he should be able to step up to it. You know, you just have so much talent in abundance, and that's just talking about Nigeria.
Yeah.
That I'm really looking forward to it, and like, you know, my country's not going to win it. I've accepted it. It's fine, but I'm just excited to watch, and you know, just Sunday can't come quick enough.
Right. Now, of course, you will be doing a preview, and we won't go too in there. But before we do anything with fantasy, Kevin, before we do anything, when we're trying to get into the fantasy, we look at the teams first, right? Same thing with Premier League. Anything you're playing, you want to see who got promoted, the teams that are on display, right? Who are the options to pick from, and of course, which are the best teams to target. And when I say target, you all know what I mean in terms of the stars, and not so stars, the premiums and then not too premiums, because it's good to mix it up. So of course, let me bring this up quickly. So of course, we look at the groups.
Yeah, the groups.
We need to look at the groups. We need to look at the players that are on the teams that are on display. So Group E. So you will guide me here, Ladimus. Let us know who you think. So give us the teams from each group that you think fans, that should target based on the talent pool from the teams available. So we look at Group A. Now, I think between you and me, I think Burkina Faso maybe dark horses in this. I feel so they have some good players, some good defenders as well too. Soda, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's some decent players, and I think they are the dark horses. But based on this Group A, who do you think will be obvious Cameroon or whatnot, but who are the obvious picks? At least two teams you should be targeting from this group.
In terms of players to put in fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Burkina Faso, you've got Bertrand Traore. He's a talented winger. He came through the Chelsea Academy, did well at, I think he was at Lyon. He's now at Aston Villa. His time there has been, I guess, so-so, but he should be a main guy for Burkina Faso. And if they are to do something in this tournament or maybe cause a bit of an upset, he'd be someone I'd put in. There's also Tapsoba. A lot of people speak about him. I don't watch him as much when he plays for his country, but he is a talent. And if he's someone that you guys want to take a bit of a punt on him, if you guys have watched him, you know what he's about. I would include putting him in. This Cameroon, Chipo Moting. You know this guy from Bayern Munich.
Yeah, of course,
Played for
of course.
PSG. There's Vincent Abubakar as well. Andrea Nana plays for Ajax. A brilliant goalkeeper.
Yeah, great goalkeeper.
Cameroon, if you could, I mean, I put in Mendy as my main goalkeeper for my fantasy. But if you guys want to go for Onana, I think he's a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I went with him as well. Yeah, I went with Onana.
And if Cameroon are to go far in this tournament, you expect Onana.
But don't forget they're hosting it as well, so they have the home field advantage.
So and when you're a host nation, you always tend to just step up that bit more.
Yeah.
And plus, Onana is someone who's brilliant with his feet. So I'm not saying it will happen, but if he was to get an assist, don't be so. All I'm saying is don't be surprised. But I'm just saying, just don't be.
Yeah.
I said it here first, by the way. Just
yeah.
But there's also Clinton Ng, plays for Marseille, so he should be a cheaper option in terms of being a striker that you guys could go for as well. And there's Ethiopia and Cape Verde. I don't really think there's anyone on show from those two teams because I don't predict them to really do much to cause an upset. I wouldn't necessarily include anyone in there amongst them. But yeah, that's all really.
Okay,
from
good. No problem. So Group B, we have Guinea, Malawi, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. So of course, Senegal will be the favorites.
And, I think they highest rated African team by FIFA.
Right. And in the group that we in the Twitter chat group that we in, Ladimus, people are bad talking Guinea, but I've been doing a little research. As I'm not gonna pretend I know all these teams. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I do not know most of these, but Guinea, based on the little research that I did, are not a team to be slighted. And I think, but I won't necessarily suggest them as a target for the fantasy. Obviously, a target Senegal. There's a guy named Mane that you all may be familiar with. There's a guy named Mendy you all may be familiar with, right? There's a lot of talent in that Senegal team that you all could target. Ladimus, you agree?
Just the Senegal team alone, you mentioned we all know Sadio Mane, we all know Mendy, we all know Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, of course.
Someone who I haven't mentioned, by the way, Ismail Sarr at Watford, who's been tearing it up now for like 2-3 seasons while he was there. Watford got relegated last season, but they were in the Premier season before. Everyone's raved about him. Liverpool, Klopp is a big fan of him as well. You've got Idris Gana Gueye, who was at Everton. He was brilliant at Everton. He's now at PSG.
PSG, correct.
Playing there as well. Speaking of PSG, there's that Diallo, Abdou Diallo.
Not familiar with that name, not gonna lie.
The left back.
No, he's a defender, can play in midfield. I mean, I don't watch much PSG, but like when I see him in the Champions League a few times, he is good.
Yeah, I had him in my team, my initial team, but
there's also Keita Balde. They've got the likes of Czech Kyoto, who's at Crystal Palace as well.
Crystal Palace, yes.
Like they've got an abundance of play. Like, listen, they're my favorites to win it. So if they don't turn up, if they don't do anything this tournament, my knowledge of AFCON is discredited. But yeah, I expect them to at least get to the final. Like they've got Mane, one of the best wingers in the world. They've got one of the best goalkeepers in Mendy and one of the best
defenders in Koulibaly. Correct. Solid.
Should go through. Yeah,
that's a good spine. That's a good spine. That's a good spine.
So that's enough to win AFCON. But with from what I've seen in the past with AFCON, surprises can happen because many times in the past with Ivory Coast, when they've had Drogba, Yaya Toure, they've been the favorites to win AFCON continuously, and they've kind of failed to do it just because of AFCON can just throw a surprise, and a surprise team can end up winning it, or someone doesn't expect, or a surprise team can turn up and have a brilliant tournament. So yeah, there's that. But when you look at the other remaining, like Malawi and Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, for me personally, there aren't any players that I would particularly look at or I would put into fantasy. And there's Brendan Galloway. I don't think that's not the Everton Galloway. No, there isn't any players that I would know or take a punt off closely because I don't watch them for their clubs. Unless people know of, there's Tinkaye Diarwa, who plays for West Ham. Maybe if anyone knows about him or knows what he's on, but other than that, yeah, there's no one. But again, it's Senegal, so I already have 3 Senegal players in my fantasy, so that's where you're going to target.
Well, all right, keep that in mind because that could be a possibility where we triple up and double up on some of these players. So keep that in mind as we move forward. All right. So and obviously you can't pick from every team, but as I said, you look at the groups and you look and it's just like Champions League. Champions League a perfect example. You look at the Champions League groups and like, all right, Barca, Real, and all in one group. Okay, you might avoid that. You might just pick one team from that group. But if you see Juve in a group with Besiktas, and 2 other, maybe 3-ish weakest team, you say, right, I'll jump on Juve. So, you look at that. That's sometimes a great guide, right? So, of course, Group C, we have Comoros, Gabon, Ghana, and Morocco, which I think is a group of death. You could correct me,
Yeah, this will be a difficult group.
I think this is a very tricky group, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, Comoros. Unfortunately, you're going to be the whipping boys in that group. I don't expect you to get a point. Gabon. I mean, look, Aubameyang. I know he hasn't had the best time at Arsenal in the past year and a half, he is an elite level goal scorer.
Yeah,
If Gabon can provide chances for this guy,
correct,
which they do tend to, they put chances on a plate for him. He will finish, and he is good enough to. They won't win it, or maybe even get to the semi-final. But if they are to do something in this tournament, he is good enough to guide them there. Yeah. He's also their captain.
I think he scored a pen today. If I'm not wrong, I think he scored a pen in a friendly today. He scored today in a friendly. Yeah.
So their hopes are on him, and I expect him to lead them to do something in this tournament. You've got Ghana, the power on show. You got Thomas Partey, who again hasn't had the best time at Arsenal in the past year and a half,
right?
But he's still we all know what he can do. He's still a brilliant
player. He turns it up. He turns up at Ghana though. When he wears that white jersey, when that black stars across his heart, something switches. I think he scored the most goals for them in the qualifiers. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That's African pride.
Turn up. Yeah. He's in my team. I think I even captain him for now.
Good. He's in. I mean, who you have? Asamoah.
Yeah, the 2 Ayew brothers. Both of them are really good.
Yeah. You've got the 2 Ayew brothers. You have Asamoah Gyan has. Everyone knows about him.
Yeah, one of the amazing.
You've got Daniel Amate, who just last week he played centre back for Leicester against Liverpool and they won 1-0. He's versatile, can play centre back and play midfield. You've got Jeffrey Schlupp, plays for Crystal Palace as well. You got Christian Ayew, who's a good forward. Obviously and the other Ayew brother as well. You got Jordan Ayew.
Jordan and Andre. I have Andre on my team. Yeah. So
look, it's a very Ghana have a very good team. I don't want them winning it because I'm
of course.
Well, I don't want them winning it, so that's why I'm backing it. But not being objective or biased.
No. Nothing wrong with that.
They really should do well. We've also got Salisu, who's at Southampton. He's been playing very well this season.
Correct.
Suleimane as well, who should probably be their star forward.
Well, we know Dizzy loves him. Oh my gosh, Dizzy loves him.
So if my prayer is this guy doesn't do well and Ghana don't do well, so I can get up to Dizzy. But listen, if Senegal are the favorites because of just the world class name they have, Ghana have to be up there in the as the second favorites to win it.
Well, we have a question coming in really quickly. Before we don't mind, we'll take it quickly. Cameron North, thanks very much for coming through, bro. He is asking, please forgive my pronunciation. Please, right? He's asking Buneja Hala Tavares. That's his front three for now. If you have any other suggestions, I think that is pretty solid, especially Hala. Are you gonna captain Hala or do you have if you have that front three, I doubt you have Mo Salah. Do you have Mo Salah or do you have Mane in your team? That's the main question. This is a solid front three. I went with Akambi, and Hala as one of my two main strikers, right? But these are good.
Salah, Mane, and Mahrez, who I have in my team, they're all listed down as midfielders, not forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something I didn't know. So you kind of have to be very smart. Hala is a good option. I think I don't know how much money you have left, Cameron, but there's also Kelechi and Nacho. I think him and Hala, I think they cost the same price, if I'm not wrong. Ahmed Musa is in the Nigerian squad, and he does well in tournaments, and he does well when he plays for Nigeria on the big stage. So if he I don't expect him to be a starter, but if he gets game time, I expect him to make an impact. There's Chukwueze, who's cheap as well. Alex Iwobi, you mentioned about Ghana and how Party always turns up. Iwobi is someone who turns up for his country as well, he'll turn it on. So yeah, these are just, I guess, a few forward midfield options that I've just named out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so moving forward, another group of death, I think, or at least a group of, deadliness, because the first game of this group is Egypt versus Nigeria. So Ladimus, I know you want to take some time on this one. Of course, Egypt, you have Mane, you have Al Shanawi, the goalkeeper, great talents. You have Silmani, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Right? You have some great talent in the Egypt team, of course. People are discrediting them as well too, just because they only have Salah. But of course, we cannot forget they have El Perlo, El Neni, right? Love him. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way, so I have to hype up my boy.
Mohamed El Perlo, yeah.
Right? Mohamed El Perlo. You understand? I have to hype him up. He has well turns of Egypt and also hit some wonder goals. So you never know, he might be needed. So I have El Neni in my team just for sentiment, but he may not be there come Sunday. So take it away, Ladimus. Egypt and Nigeria might be the two main guys that we look at for assets for the fantasy.
If you have any Nigerian defenders or goalkeeper, take them out for this game. I expect Salah to. I don't want to say that. Salah will probably score 2 goals in this game. Salah could look. I don't know how far Egypt can go, but Salah will end up as probably the top goal scorer in this game, just by because I just expect him to get goals. This game could end, I think, 1 or 2-0 probably Egypt. But from the Nigerian and the other side for us, we're missing Osimhen and Dennis, who has a brilliant season.
Yes,
Osimhen, who he was one of the probably most informed strikers in Europe up until November when he got injured, which is a shame because
big shame.
He could have led the line for us for AFCON and really put us forward as one of the guys who could actually go forward and win it. But for us, like I said, I mentioned Ahmed Musa, he'll turn up for tournaments. We've got Wilfred Ndidi, one of the best DMs in the world. We've got Ian Nacho, we've got Chukwueze, Iwobi, quite a young squad. And yes, they kind of lack a bit of the experience, but they're fearless. Yeah. And they're willing to actually try things and push. Henry Onyekuru is also there as well. You've got
Onyeku, yeah.
You've got Leon Balogun and William Traste Kong, who plays for Watford. So quite a team who they've got experience in terms of where they play in good places for their club. So whether it's within the Premier League or they play for teams in Europe. So they've got that sort of experience, maybe not high level tournament experience for the country, but they're here let's go forward and see where these young guys can guide us towards. But we're not winning this first game against each.
All right, that's fair. I like the honesty. Right, moving along quickly. So next up, we have the defending champions. Right, Algeria, Group E, Ivory Coast, Equatorial Guinea, and Sierra Leone. So I I want to touch on Ivory Coast real quickly. Ivory Coast have a team. My word.
They have a bomb squad, yeah.
Wow. Right. That's all I would say. Ladimus, take it away. Let talk about Algeria first and then
Ivory Coast won it last year, right?
No, Algeria. I think it
Oh,
was
Algeria.
Algeria.
Okay.
Yeah, Algeria defending champions. Yeah, Algeria defending champions. And of course, we didn't mention Riyadh as yet. So go ahead. Take it away.
Wait, before you start, does AFCON have the same curse where the defending champs get knocked out in the first round?
No,
You
we
know,
don't have.
no, you don't have that curse.
We don't have that. We don't have that curse. We're not Europeans. You know.
Yeah. Good.
I'll give us some sort of respect. But yeah, we've got Algeria. Their squad is not. It's not Senegal level, I would say. It's more on the same level as maybe kind of like a Morocco, Ghana, but it's stacked. I mean, Riyad Mahrez, one of City's most important players, one of the best wingers in Europe. You got Said Ben Rama, who didn't have maybe the best of seasons last year.
Well, he started okay. And then he just kind of disappeared. Yeah, he had his first few weeks.
But this season, though, he's been brilliant for them. You got Islam Slimani, who used to play for Leicester. He's a good, he's a good striker.
Good backup. Yeah.
You got the likes of Fuguli. You got Yusuf Attal. He was linked to Chelsea a few years ago. He's a brilliant, dynamic, fullback, wing back. He will cause teams trouble and down that side, especially like if you've got a face off against a team like, for example, Senegal, with Mane leaving that sort of space in behind, and him it's going to be amazing to watch. But yeah, they've got a very good team. I don't expect them to retain it. I'll be honest. Just like Senegal, you can't really bet against them. They're stacked. But if someone was to tell me Algeria they can retain their AFCON title, I wouldn't be, that wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't necessarily be too surprised by it because they've got a very good team. But yeah, the other boys in the team, Ivory Coast, a bit of a weird one since, I mentioned the golden generation they kind of had with
Drogba
and Kalu, Yaya Toure, and they were expected to win it. Max Gradle, they were just expected to eventually win AFCON, and they kept, I guess, failing at stages. That once those crop of players retired, they kind of declined a bit. At least in my eyes, they did. But when you look at their team now, Sebastian Haller didn't have a great season last season in the Premier League with West Ham. But we know what sort of striker he is. He's brilliant. He used to be at Eintracht Frankfurt. I think it's Frankfurt. He was brilliant there. Yeah. He's now at Ajax. He's the top goal scorer in the Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League, boy.
He's been brilliant. He's gonna be, and he takes the pressure off of Wilfried Zaha.
Correct.
Zaha is the guy for Crystal Palace. Doesn't have the help. He's the guy for Ivory Coast. He now has that pressure taken off of him. You've got Nicolas Pepe, who, I don't rate highly. I'm a Chelsea fan. So this running joke I have to annoy Arsenal fans is saying, Pepe, he's not that good. He doesn't even start for Ivory Coast. But,
wow.
it's funny. But no, Pepe is a bit of a goal threat, and, he can pop up with a goal or two if Ivory Coast need one. You got Frank Kessie. He's a midfielder that has been linked to the likes of Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, linked to big clubs. He's at AC Milan. Eric Bailly, unfortunately, he can't really stay fit, but a brilliant defender from Man United. You've got Max Kone, went to Burnley this season, has been brilliant, ripping it up, just being surprised. They've got Jeremy Boga at Sassuolo, who's been brilliant as well. The likes of Willy Bolly at Wolves. Look, if they've got a squad, and who knows? It's not a golden generation by any means, but if there's not necessarily much pressure because people want to look at Morocco, you want to look at Senegal, you want to look at Ghana, maybe Algeria to retain it. If no one's necessarily focusing on Ivory Coast, maybe they can just sneak under the radar a bit, and all of a sudden they're in the semi-final and they have a chance of winning it. So who knows? Who knows?
I like that analysis there, and as we said, there's a lot of talent spread across. So of course, last but certainly not least, Group F, my team, Mali. As I said, I've adopted Mali. Right, I'm bigging up Mali. But of course, Tunisia. Now, Tunisia have a decent strike force. They have a decent goalkeeper. They have decent midfield. Right, not too certain about the defense. I'm still doing my research on them, but based on what I've seen so far, not too bad. Mauritania, they might be the whipping boys, but they do score goals, right? So this might be a decent group, not a group of death, but it'll be a decent group to watch as well. Ladimus?
Yeah, I think this is a group where I don't want to disrespect Mali or Gambia, but I think this is a group where they're all kind of
level playing field in a sense.
Yeah, in some way, shape, or form, where it's not like one team will run away and get 6 points or get 9 points. It's a group where even who finishes top, I expect it to be only on 6 points or 5 because points will be taken away. It'll be an entertaining one for the neutrals to watch as well, especially if you don't necessarily know much about AFCON, and instead of just jumping into the big clash of Morocco v Ghana, you can watch this one and just think, sort of like, if an example of this, if you were to watch a Premier League version of this would be, say, I don't know, Crystal Palace v Brighton, just like kind of like a mid-table clash. They're both on the same level. It'll be entertaining. There'll be goals in it. That's that sort of thing. So I think it's a good group, and if from that group, depending on where other fixtures or other the path lies get into the final, you never know. One of these teams might get to the quarters out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden they might have a chance to do something. So it's a good group. It's a good group.
Yeah, and I read the reason I'm backing Bissouma and Mali because I just like him. I like him, and he's young, but he's that kind of player where he could control a game already. I watched him when Brighton played Liverpool. He alone, like control at midfield because Liverpool have a bit of a midfield crisis, but it's still Liverpool. So for him to do something like that, I think on another level, like this level here, I think he could carry his team. Obviously, we don't want him too burdened, but I think there's a good group. Mali and Tunisia could probably come out of this group, and as you said, you never know, they have a good run to the quarters, to the semis. So yeah, I'm really I'm backing Mali, right? So that's the group stages there. So of course, that's how you do it, right? That's the initial phase, Kevin. We look at the groups, we look at the teams, we say, all right, this is how we're going to target, this is how we're going to approach the fantasy, because we don't want to just jump in willy-nilly. Put Mane, Mahrez, Salah, and auto pick. No, there are a lot of players to pick from. As we said, good talent. This is not like other tournaments, because I would like to in other tournaments, I just auto pick. I pick my few favorites and bam, but I was surprised. Like I took my time and I could tell you each player that I picked. Right? I could explain each player.
Yeah. Right? And I you know what? I wish I had we'd done this stream before I did my picks. Because going through the teams and everything.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a live mock-up. We're gonna do a live mock-up.
You still have till Sunday to change your picks. So.
Yeah,
I can change my team.
Okay. You can change it up. Yeah. Unlimited transfers until Sunday.
Yeah, no. Nothing is locked in. Yeah, nothing is locked in. Right. Only when the game start, then you're limited to 2 transfers a game. But right, you could change. That's why I said for now. No Salah as yet. I'm changing my team as I come along. Right, so you have a question here from Farmer Sneed. Sorry, thanks for coming through, bro. Belali is the only must-have. His price is too low, 7.5.
I actually have him on my side as well.
Too low? You wicked. I find the prices are way too high. We had to talk about that though. The prices in this game is ridiculous. You can't even get like 2 5.5s or some mid price. Maybe like what? Amate might know. Ndidi, El Neni might be a mid price. Yeah. Partey is what? 6.5. Yeah. So it's really tough to make, because if you want to get, let's say you want to get Salah Mane, and then they say, right, you're leaving it alone, or maybe Salah Mahrez, right? Or even if you say Mahrez Mane, you still cannot get Corny. You can't bring in Hala willy-nilly. You have to do it, in a way. You have to navigate in a way, right? Or you just auto pick.
Yeah.
But again, we are not here to auto pick. We want to pick guys that we know, pick, or at least players that we researched. So yeah. So what we're gonna do now, we are going to do our live pick. And then of course we'll run through our teams real quickly, right? So just show you how to find the site, right? Is real. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've been saying fever or fever. I don't know how you all have been.
Yeah, fever.
Right? I don't know how you all have been pronouncing it. Just now, let me find it. Yeah. All right. Good. So I have it. Let me make sure you all seeing. All right. So I have it up here. You're seeing the screen, right? I have it up. So you go to the real fever, or either you could go on the App Store, right? Check, download it. Now they will say build my first team. You click. You click pick competition. Of course, we're doing African fantasy, right? So AFCON. Right, you're playing the classic, of course. There's no draft.
Now you click the
Right.
button that says classic.
Right. So
Yeah.
obviously you go through. So I'm not gonna stay too long on this. We'll just, right. That's just to get somebody upset. Did I spell that correct? I want to make sure I spell that correct. How you spell Jollof, Ladimus? Ladimus, how you spell Jollof? Was it correct spelling for Jollof?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Jollof.
Oh, right. Right. So that's just to get a certain friend of ours upset, Ladimus.
Yes. Nigerian jollof is the best. Yes, yes.
And I've actually had it. I have a coworker from Nigeria, and he makes it for us every Christmas. So, yeah.
Good.
Right. So, of course, we're just gonna pick willy nilly, right? Nothing to write. So, I'm just gonna write. So, you pick your team, your name, whatnot, and you move on, right? So, we go in next step, picking the players. Oh, we have to pick an right? Next up. All right. So just like in the FPL, we have our team here, our field setup with the players. We have the list on the side. Now, Kevin, you'll help me out, right? And of course, Ladimus and anybody in the comments, right? So this is just a draft, just to give you an idea of how to find the site or the app, and of course, how you go about picking your players. This is not Bible or scripture. You could follow your gut, as you always see on the show, on the channel, and pick accordingly, or just auto pick. Now, in picking any team, Kevin, the first step is to have a spine, right? Develop in your mind which spine you want to go with. And when I say spine, it's strong keeper, a strong defender, strong midfielder, and a strong forward. This is where you pick something template or something that everybody else will pick. We don't go into effective ownership and all that black and all, blah, 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 blah. But you want to pick someone that you for sure certain any day, anytime call upon will come out trumps and get you those valuable points. Now, of course.
And these are normally your captain picks most likely.
Of course, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, in fantasy, FPL and UCL, no, yeah, we don't really care about the goalkeeper options per se because you don't want to waste money. So you don't want to waste a good 6.5 or 7 buying an expensive keeper when you could use those funds now to try and get better outfield players. But because of the options that we are given, they are great options to go by.
I think almost every team has a 6.0.
Yes, right.
Almost every team has a 6.0.
Yeah. So you can't avoid it. So my spine, if you can agree on this spine, Kevin, Ladimus, you want to go with Mendy, you want to go with Onana, who's a decent goalkeeper for our spine?
I think in terms of when you're picking these players, you focus on say in the group, but you also kind of have to think long term. And I kind of thought long term. If Onana plays for Ghana, Mendy plays for Senegal, who do I expect to say reach the semi-final or reach the final or even win it? My pick was Senegal. so that's why I went with Mendy. But I don't know who you have as favorites. If you pick Ghana, then I expect you to go with Onana, or maybe if you have a different team entirely to win it, if you think Algeria have a chance, or even Ivory Coast, then I would pick one of their goalkeepers.
Especially with the goalkeepers, because that you don't really want to waste a transfer on a goalkeeper too much.
Correct.
So you might want to change your outfield players more.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with Mendy. So guys,
Yeah.
it's really simple. You just click on the player, click on the arrow, boop, and Mendy's in. Right? So one goalkeeper down. Right? Defenders now. So as Ladimus, you say you're not much in the fantasy, but that's a great strategy, especially for tournament fantasy. You don't want to be now. Of course, you'll be given a chance to repick your team in the knockout. Well, it should be in this tournament as well. Most tournaments they do that. Fantasy tournaments they do that, but you don't want to have to mash up your whole team because you had guys from other teams that didn't make it. That is why, as we said, you look at the group stages and try to target. Now, of course, things are not set in stone. As we said, we could get surprises. The teams that you targeted might even make it out. But you try and follow your gut and go with the teams that you believe or should come out of the group. And you don't want to be mashing up your team in the last 16, of course. You want to have at least 8 players, so just maybe 2 or 3 you have to change, as you said. So, defenders. Of course, Hakim is the first thing that pops up there. You have a Ghazi. He is brilliant, by the way. I loved him. Right? Brilliant, brilliant player. We have this. No, my spine for me, I picked Amati as my spine. Right? That was my spine. But let me know, guys, who do we pick as a solid defender? Of course, Koulibaly.
I think will Amati be playing centre back, or will he be playing in midfield?
That's a good. Well, they have him as a defender, so that's the thing. They have him as a
yeah, but then it'll be an out of position defender.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But like if you put him in and if he plays in midfield, then maybe he'll get like there's a
Yeah,
chance he might get an
better
assist
chance
or
of him getting a goal or an assist.
Is that
Yeah.
that's a higher rating for a defender?
Yeah. Well, all right. So,
Yeah.
Mate, boom. Next up, midfield. Well, of course, there's so guy.
So it's one of 3. You have
Here's
to
one of the
choose
3
from.
horsemen that you could pick from. The usual suspects. Right? There's only one of 3. The main. Look at them right there. Look at it. I couldn't even make it up. Right there. 13, 12, and 11.5. Right? So you have to pick one. Unless you want to put all 3 in and then auto pick, fine. If that's how you want to play the game, you're just having fun, you're not taking it as serious as us, no problem. We're just having fun as well. But there's one of 3. Guys, I'm letting Kevin and Ladimus agree on which one we put in our mock up here.
So between Salah, Mahrez, and Mane, I actually going for Mane just because that group looks a little easier. Right? Guinea, Mali, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. Right? So that's how I end up going up with Mane instead. Right? Egypt group, they have Nigeria and Sudan. Those may be a little tricky. Right? I mean, don't put anything past Salah. You will play. You will play really good. And the Algeria squad, that just because it have Algeria and Ivory Coast in that group, that 2 big hitting teams, it kind of like pulled me away from Mahrez a little bit. So I drifted towards Mane out of the 3 of them. Also, I think he's the mid-price one, so if I have to drop or go up, I'll be able to get to either one if I have to.
Solid. Ladimus?
Well, no, actually, no, he's the lowest. Sorry, he's the lowest. Yeah. But yeah, there's not too much to go from.
Yeah, no, that is very smart thinking. I had that in mind. As well as also thinking, again, Senegal are my pick. So Mane getting to the final. I expect Mane to get in amongst the goals, getting amongst the assists.
And he has the support. He has Jacare, not Jacare, sorry. Who's the midfielder for him? Yeah, the team.
He has the supporting cast around.
Yeah, he has the support to help him out.
Yeah, but with Salah, yes, Egypt's team may not be as good as Senegal or Algeria.
I was thinking Salah. Sorry, yeah.
It's still Salah. I still expect him to, be amongst it for the Golden Boot as well. So it's like you're silly to leave out Mane. You're silly to leave out Salah. You also have Mahrez. who's just this magician. And again, if you have Algeria down to retain this title, Mahrez will be their important player. So it's tough. I would go with what you said. Probably go with put down Mane because he's the cheaper one for now. And if you have a bit of money
if you
left
have the
over,
extra funds, you can put it.
dig things around. Maybe you can get one of the other two.
Yeah. Which is my plan eventually. I will. That's why I'm researching some of the other teams. Maybe get some cheaper a cheaper goalkeeper maybe. But right now I have Mendy and the goalkeeper from Tunisia on my team. But I may try and get a cheaper goalkeeper and a cheaper defender maybe, and try to bring in Mahrez maybe. Not Salah's yet, but maybe bring in Mahrez. All right. So of course we have to look at our forwards. Now, of course, we already went on the expensive end already with most of the guys, but that's not a problem. Of course, you have Hala, you have Nacho, it can be, right? We have some good options to pick from. You have Aubameyang, right? We have great IU. And in our group, some guys were slating IU. We have Igalo, right? Can't forget Igalo. You have Abubakar. Can't forget these guys. Again, we are spoiled for choice. It's just the prices are ridiculous, but there are great options to pick from. Ladimus, take it away. Start first. Who's your proposal for Kevin to agree with you? Who's your proposal striker here?
So obviously, just even looking at that list, the big names that would stand out: Sebastian Haller, Iheanacho, Aubameyang would be the three. Again, Aubameyang, sort of the same thing with Salah. Gabon's team is, it's not like the strength of a Ghana or Senegal, etc. However, they do supply Aubameyang with goals, and if they give him service, I expect him to be amongst it for the Golden Boot. So do you? I don't know. It's like, do you see Gabon going far? But do you want to put him in? But I think probably the safer bets would just be try and go for put in Haller or put in Iheanacho. So at least then you have a strong forward in there that will go far and get you goals. I would pick. Personally, I put Haller over Iheanacho because I think Ivory Coast will go farther. But again, depends how much you have left. Maybe you can find a way to fit in both, or to fit in one of Haller and Iheanacho and then put in Aubameyang. Like, it depends on how much money you have left over. But yeah, at least you have a strong spine for now.
I already clicked him, but you agree with that, Kevin? Haller?
Yeah. I started off with Haller. I just couldn't keep him in, but I agree with Haller.
Right. So. Okay. So normally what we do from here. So Kevin, you picked your spine. Tell us what you will normally do from here now. How are you picking your players now? The rest of your team. What's your next position you're looking at? And
I will go from the top down, coming back down to mid to high range, right? Players who are involved. They will be in front of the goal. They will be in the box. Very attack minded, right? So I will more go towards the midfield to see if there are any midfield players who play in like as a striker, right? And then go from there. I'll go up to the top for the second striker and the third striker. Right? I want to look at the defense as yet.
So you mean someone like Casey? I mean, who we looking at there like that? What's the options?
So for midfield, all teams, all right.
Because you have Corny, you have Iwobi, right? You have decent guys, yes, right? You have Dizzy's favorite player ever, Sulemano. Yeah. I wish Dizzy could have come on. I know he's doing a podcast right now, but Dizzy.
Right. So under the 10 bracket, I'm looking at the 9.5s, maybe 8.5s. From like Ben Rama, those guys.
Okay.
Pepe, maybe Sa. I went with IU.
Okay.
Right. Andre Ayew, I think he's a little more active in that Ghana squad. Right. So also if I go to like the Ghana page, he's like one of the more expensive players for Ghana themselves.
All right, so you wanna go? So you go with him for now? That's what I expect there. No problem. All right. All right. So Ladimus, what next position you want to fill in there?
Oh, me. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
What next position you want to fill in? Talk to me.
I would I go for a defender.
All right.
And for me, my thought process were for the defenders were I try to go for the fullbacks or the
Right.
wing backs. So I know
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
they will get forward. They'll get the goal contributions for a midfielder, and because you're a defender, you'll get a higher rating for them. So I was looking at Hakimi, I was looking at Atal, and also Baba Rahman, who he's a fullback. He's on loan from Chelsea. So I looked at those three, and I think Hakimi is the higher rated one.
Yes.
Yeah,
7,
he's a
right?
7 point.
Yeah.
If you want to spend that money and put in Hakimi, or maybe go a bit cheaper and go for a Atal, I think Atal's much cheaper, but he's also just as good. Plays for I think he plays for Algeria. Yeah, plays for Algeria. So again, if Algeria are predicted to go far, Atal will be an important part of that. So
All right. So let's go with a cheap option. I'm cool with that.
yeah,
Right.
oh,
Because it will help
yeah.
us in the longer run. Right. We have to monitor
Yeah.
our budget. 49
What
left.
position does Atal play?
He's
In
a fullback, wing back. He can play as a winger as well.
Okay, because right now I have Hakimi, so if I could
Very-
save 1 million and go to
Yeah.
Atal, that'd be
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
essentially kind of the same with Hakimi, you know, fullback,
Yeah.
wing back, winger, very attacking going forward, can get amongst the assists, can get pop up with a goal or two. And again, a cheaper option than Hakimi. So if you don't want to spend that money and you're trying to save it for maybe other areas, maybe trying to get a better center back or get a better striker, then that is
Okay.
the cheap option you have there.
Yeah, I fully agree with. I like that. I like that. I like that. And cheap, trying to not cheap, but we trying to get because we have to try. We're trying to bring in Salah. We're trying to bring in
Salah.
Mahrez. We're trying, right? All right, we're trying.
All right, so the next position I will choose now, as you say, Salah and Mahrez.
Right.
If I can't get one of them, I will try to get someone who could benefit off of them. Right? So for Salah, you look at the strikers and the forwards. Right? Who else playing for Egypt?
Ah, you
Right?
say what? I look at Egypt. All right, no problem.
So looking at Egypt, right?
Right.
So just say we can't get Salah in right now, I'll look at Egypt and I'll filter for the forwards and the midfielders and see who could benefit off of Salah. Right? So you have like Mohamed, you have Marmoush, you have those guys up in front who are a lot cheaper, right? But
That's
you know, yeah, just
No,
in
I was just
case
saying,
Salah,
sorry, that's very smart planning.
Yeah.
If you can't get the guy that's gonna get the goals, at least get
Exactly.
someone who
This is how we
Who
do
could
it here,
benefit,
bro.
yeah.
This is how we do it here. This is how we do it. We take these fantasy things real seriously. You can't get that guy. I'll get the guys around him. Yeah, that's how you play.
So what I did, since I didn't have much of I don't watch it much. I looked at the last few games and see who was the most involved.
Yes.
Right?
Very good. Mhm.
And one name keep coming up for me, Marmoush. He was a 7.0 forward.
Right.
So between he or Sheriff, which is a 7.0 midfielder, right? Both of them were involved. If I was able to get the the lineup and the positions, I would have had a better pick, right? But I went safe. I went with Marmoush, but Sheriff as well. He was looking good as well. His name keep popping up a lot in the goals, right? So again, both of them are 7.0, play for Egypt. So it depends if you want to make up for a forward or if you want to put him in the midfield.
All right. I like that. I
So
like
I think
that.
as
So we have two each so far. We wanna clear off the goalkeeper. We leaving goalkeeper for last. That's not important. We have
Yeah,
our
that
main
could
guy.
be last thing.
Right. All right. What's the next position you want to fill in there, Ladimus?
Next position.
Because you're watching the funds, huh? Funds saying 42. Right.
Okay, before the money runs out, go get a sturdy centre back that you would
Alright.
think can keep clean sheets. I don't know. You gotta be. I put in Koulibaly.
All right. Nothing wrong with that.
You have what is? Let me just check out Senegal's group. Yeah, Mali, Zimbabwe. Yeah. I expected at least maybe 2 clean sheets. So yeah, I'd put in Koulibaly. He's also a threat from set pieces as well. So if he pops up with a goal, that's added points. So Koulibaly for me.
Okay. Solid. Talk to me. Kevin, what next we going with?
Another midfielder. I'll go back again attacking. I I mean, pay more attention to what do you call it? The fixtures.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
So
know
what team you want
Cameroon
to
has
look
a
at?
I look
Right.
at Cameroon again. We have much Cameroon players there. Right now we have Hala, and that's it.
No, he's Ivory Coast, so we don't have
Ivory
any
Coast. Okay,
Cameroon at
okay.
all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody from Cameroon. All right. Let me see who we have. We have a Cambi in front, Masugog. Abubakar, I know that name. We will all know
Yeah.
that name. Choupo-Moting, he's a cheap forward, and his name, I mean, he pops up a lot. So we can either go Choupo-Moting as a striker, or we can look at Anguissa as a midfielder. Again, both of them 6.5, so whatever we're trying to fill in. So let me go with Anguissa.
Yeah. I like that show.
Yeah.
The thing with Choupo-Moting, I don't think he may start all the games. He
Yeah.
might come off
Because
the
I was
bench. But
watching
that's good.
the
That's good.
other
That's good.
forwards
Yeah.
he had. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other forwards they had are some more expensive, maybe more locked on players. So
Yeah. He may not start, but we cannot discredit and discount the talent as he
yeah.
brings. All right. So 29 left. We have to fill, was that 6 spaces again? Right? It's looking grim already. But Ladimus, let's go. Next position.
Next position.
So I want to ask you, Anonymous, with the smaller teams, right? Do they have like a token striker because would they or midfielder that is not a high price? So like Equatorial Guinea or Zimbabwe or in that last group, the last group is a free fall and says Mali, Gambia, Tunisia, right? The price range is not that high. Is there a cheap token player in any one of those teams we could throw in?
I mean, Tunisia, they've got
Jaziri.
Kaziri, yeah, Wabi Kaziri. He's like a forward, inside forward. They've got a defender, Omar Rekik. Those would be
Jaziri
the only
6.5.
two.
But you see,
Yeah.
but you know that, but they're not cheap, you know, like anybody
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Okay.
But
So maybe even a team that have a lower cost. So like
but that's a good question. Like, you know, like if anybody, you know, like maybe Guinea or some more Guinea, right? Or any other teams, you know, I'm like familiar, you know, might be slightly familiar with at least one Aubameyang or one you know, one Haller, their Haller, their version, any other
Guinea,
team, because you know, because this group.
Let Guinea. Let's see what the price of this player is.
Right.
Amadou Diawara. Amadou Diawara. He's a midfielder. What's his price?
Midfield.
Diawara.
Diawara 5.5. Yes, I was looking at another point.
Ooh, that's solid.
So that's a good one you could use.
All right, so you slide him in just to keep it cheapness,
right?
Yeah, so 23.5 left.
Anything that happening from Guinea may have to go through him if he's a good player from them, right? Yeah, there's a way to pick some cheaper players from other teams that may return, and in the group itself. So
yes, you target a group like just like that last group. You target that group that does not. So we can bring it up real quickly again, right? So you're watching. So
Gambia, Mali.
Yeah, so you can watch Gambia, Mali, Mauritania, right? And maybe pick a few guys, but again, you don't want to overdo it because they may not progress, right? They may not progress, but yeah, again, so you watch your groups and then you move to suit from there. So that was good thinking there, Kevin, as always. Right? So this was Guinea. So you pick a guy there from Guinea, keeping it cheap. We still have a forward, another mid, 2 defenders. So we're trying to leave a space here for either Salah or Mahrez. Trying our best. I doubt it will happen because even if we bring him in now, we'll only be left with what, 11 or maybe 13. If we bring in Salah now, we'll be left with what, 10.5 roughly. And if you bring in Mahrez, maybe what, 11.5 might be left. And you can't get 3 players with 11.5.
Yeah. So like if you want, you could just have further. You could put 2 4.0 defenders. Since we have 3 decent defenders, play with a 3 in the back.
Right. So play a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 or
yeah,
something
3-4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So you say, okay, so call a random team, look at the groups, and pick someone that might just be 4. Yeah, just to
just might be 4, just to fill it in. Yeah.
All right.
You could also use the bar to move around to see the
correct.
price bar to
Yeah,
see
to move
if you have
quicker.
any
Yeah.
4.0s.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I brought up Mauritania. What we could do is look at all, as you said. So we bring in all teams. We move the bar. Select the defenders, and we bring down our bar, and we see what we get. Yeah.
You could do it with the
Right.
goalkeeper as well if we're not going for a second keeper.
All right. So now again, these guys don't have to start necessarily. Ever. No, we just bring in, right. So we could go with these guys. Any 4.0s.
Yeah, any 4.0s that jump out, but again, you can look at the smaller teams and see if they have only 4.0s and 4.5 defenders.
That
So they
actually
may get some
start
game
as
time.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
actually
may actually
start.
start.
Yeah. So we could filter real quickly again. It won't take too long. We could filter real quickly. Let's pick a random team. Gabon, right? If we might be punting on if we punting on Aubameyang, right? So there's one here. He may not start though.
There's
Because he's not
Obiang.
high up. Yeah, Gabon. So what we do, we're just trying to pick maybe 2 defenders with 4.0 rankings just to throw them in as foders now. So they won't play, but just to keep our price options cheap so we could try and bring in either Mahrez or Salah. Right, that is the mission. You want to at least have 2 of the horsemen. Right. So while we're doing that, who's our forward and who's our forward pick and a random goalkeeper, Kevin?
Yeah, look at 4.5 or 4.0. I think there was one team. I have a 4.0 from Ethiopia. I think all their keepers are 4.0 or 4.5.
All right, that's a good option. Oh, okay. Now the main one. Wait, do we bring in the main guy or bring in a further? Bring in a main guy?
Yeah, the main guy is 4.5.
What's that, Ladimus?
Yeah, just go for the main guy, maybe just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a good backup. Yeah, good backup. Well, not good, but yeah. And of course, a random defender again. Any random defender, we'll go in all and just pick a random 4.0.
Yeah,
right.
just put a 4.0 for now. Just a placeholder.
This is the point now where we'll have to maybe readjust, maybe get rid. Kevin, maybe. Ladimus,
Yeah, maybe.
get
Yeah.
rid, maybe. Right, but we'll go. You'll have a forward in mind by chance?
Any forward other than Haller that
we're
play.
keeping the 2 that we have, but we want to
Oh
bring
no,
in
I know,
one
but
more.
if there's any others that you need,
Yeah.
What is Oh, you have 15
left. We have 15 left, and we need to pick 3 players. So I'm going to try and pick a cheap defender now.
Yeah, so if it's 15 minus 4, that would be 11. So 11 for 2 players. So that's like a 5.5 and a 6, or 4.5 and a 7.
Well, hold on. I'm glad I said that. Well, here what could happen, right? So we could bring in. I just trying it out. So we could bring in after I fix this, right? So we could bring in. Jaziri.
Right, how much is he? Yeah.
So 8.5 left, right? You're bringing but then it'll be 4.5, 4.5. Even if we get 4, so
yeah, a 4 defender and then a 4.5
midfield, and we play 3-4-3.
3-4-3, yeah.
Yeah, all right, simple as that. So we'll go back in all. Any team you saw that had that Kevin while he was doing your pickings?
Defending, I think Equatorial Guinea, I think, for the defenders.
All right, Guinea.
There's a whole bunch of 4.5s, but it have 2 guys there.
Okay, and have a 4 as well.
Just put a 4 for now.
Yeah, put a 4. Right, so
yeah,
left with
just for a placeholder.
4.5. Yeah, and we could even take one of their midfielders. Right, so we go with this guy here. Bap. Right, so that is the general idea of when you're picking your team. Now, of course, the main mission was to try and bring in Mahrez or Salah, which will be kind of tricky. So maybe you have to sacrifice Haller, and maybe you have to sacrifice
Ayu.
And
Yeah,
then
you will be the easiest way to get it.
yeah, right. So let's see if we can do that for the viewers. Right. So we have 21 left.
So put in who you want. Maris?
Ladimus, you pick. Who you want, Mahrez or Salah?
Look,
Now, if you pick Salah, you don't necessarily need to get rid of Hala. You can get rid of the other striker, the other Egypt striker we have there.
All right. So okay. So we bring in Salah.
Yeah, let me try Salah. Everyone loves Salah.
8 left. 8 left. Not bad.
Right. So put back Hala.
Okay. So
You can put back Hala.
how much is Mahrez?
So we go. All right. Was that Ladimus?
Could you
Oh
possibly
no,
have?
wishes.
Could you possibly have the three of them?
Well, if you want the 3 of them. All right, why not? Why not? Let's try it out. We'll try it for you. We'll try it for you. Well, we had so we getting rid of Anguissa, and he's the most. Oh, you want to get rid of?
No, I'm just asking if there's a way.
No, see, no, it's possible. No,
It's possible, yeah.
But it will limit. I mean, they're the 3 best, so you want the 3 best, but it will limit the other guys that you can bring in that you know for sure if they having a bad day. Because if, let's say, Mane and Mahrez blank, I'm just saying, Salah perform, all right, and then you have some 4.5s that they brought in just to fill in, and you know, you didn't perform well that match day. So that's the only gamble or danger with them. Bringing in 2 of them is not too bad, and at least it allows you to bring in other guys that you could, you know, bring in other players. That's the thought process. So you said what? Bring back Hala?
Sorry, bring back Hala, and
right, and we could get rid now of
the Egypt.
No, get rid of Mamouche. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's still 10. No, that's 10 left. It's
yeah, so that's only like a 5 and a 5, or was the cheapest striker you could get? So
right. Again, so we just getting further, so the team will have a few. Yeah. So you have this guy from Ivory. Oh no, sorry. Oh, right. So you have Senegal.
Oh no, you haven't picked the forward.
Forward.
Yeah,
the green one.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Right. Sorry about that. Right. Oh, so you have somebody from Zimbabwe. Maybe he starts. That's not bad. You never know.
So yeah, Zimbabwe.
Right. Right.
What Zimbabwe's group? Senegal, Malawi.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah.
Go for someone. Is there any strikers there from Gambia, Mali, or Tunisia?
Right. So Gambia here. No, the 2 Tunisians are 6.5 and 6.
And 6. Yeah, now watch that.
Yeah. So they're a little pricey. So we have one here from Gambia. Right. And Malawi. Yeah, Malawi here as well too. So we have a decent-ish kind of team here. Right.
Yeah.
So if you want, you could play what? 4-5-1 if you want, or 4-3.
Or 3.
Yeah, because again, these are fodders, but they may start. Right. So you could go with these guys, you know. But again, this is only if you want to bring in Salah,
if you want all those big players.
If you want these players. Now let me show you.
Salah and Mane is a lot.
Is a lot, exactly. Right, and is overdoing it. Right. So let me show you quickly. Right. Let me show you real quickly what I did. Let me show you really quickly what I did. Because again, it's overdoing it. You don't bound for just pick one. Because there's a lot of other talented, dependable players that we could pick from. So this is my team here. This is how we're looking. I'll start from the keeper. So, and well, of course, the bench as well, right? The bench is the bench. Decent players there on the bench. We have Mendy, of course. I have please forgive my pronunciation, right? Beneseveni from Algeria, of course. We have Amate from Ghana. We have Tapsoda from Burkina Faso. Again, my dark horses. We have Bissouma from the team I'm back in Mali. Pate, Mane, El Neni. Right? We have Halle, Ioni, and of course, Jaziri. So, take it away, Kevin. Waiting about this team, Pokemons, Ladimus. Waiting about this team. I know you're vexed of enough Nigerians. We'll fix that eventually. But talk to me. What are we looking?
That's your team, yeah?
Yeah, this is my team. That's my
Salah
team.
and Mane, that's great. Oh no, wait, this is not. Oh, I watched any wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, you watching wrong. I want to know. Nah, I only have Mane. You're seeing El Neni. I have El Neni, right?
That's a good. It's actually a good team. Strong. Diawara. Yeah, so that is a very strong team. I haven't looked through at least like in our fantasy league for the first 6. I haven't looked through everyone else's. So I don't know what everyone else's teams look like, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I've been watching some other.
That's very strong. That's a team that for fantasy I expect, at least top 3, top 5.
Yeah, taking that. Yeah. Kevin, you want to bring up yours quickly? And what do you think about my team
Yeah.
as before we move? Yeah.
So far, it looks good. I really not seen the team properly, so I really can't say. But Hala, Mane, those are 2 really strong points. That your goalkeeper is going to make saves as well as clean sheets.
Yeah.
So you have no problems there at all.
And I brought in a very strong backup as well, too expensive backup. I have Ben Mustafa from Tunisia as well. So I pull out all these stops. I make sure I try to have, and of course, and Didi's on the bench, right? That's to tell you. So it's
The
still
Kubali, I was watching Kubali. I still watching. Sorry, I only get the feed from the YouTube from before.
Oh, you're not watching the
Yeah,
right?
with on my phone. So yeah, it looks good. Anguissa looking really good as well.
All right, so let me bring up your team real quickly. All right, so walk us through that real quickly.
All right, so my forward I won't even know how to pronounce his name. Ryan from Morocco. I find Morocco had they had a good qualifying both in attack and defense, or both in their main striker,
Were
which
they the
wasn't
only
too
team?
expensive.
Did they have the best defensive run? I think
The
in the
best defensive,
qualifiers.
so that's
Yes,
why I ended up
yes,
bringing in
yes,
Hakimi as well.
yes.
So I needed a defender from them. I really wanted to bring in a defender. He
Mhm.
looks a little more nailed on because I think he's on the left. The right has two options, right? So I went for Hakimi, right? So that was my Moroccan part in it. I'm looking at Cameroon for the long haul, right? Akambi, he has been in most of the goals, involved in most of the goals so far. I'm not sure where does he play for, other than like what club or
I had to check
that's
that
for
too.
sure.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
lie.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he's involved. He's always there. 10.5, which is a little lower than Hala. So if I really need to go up to him, I have them. And my goalkeeper Oana 0.5 less, so I'm sticking with him. So I have a defensive and an attacking, right, for Cameroon. The same thing I said without Salah. I don't have Salah in my group, my midfield, so I'm going with Marmoush. Right, he's a little bit cheaper. He's 7.0, right, and he looks like he would start as well. So he may not be the other Mohammed, but he's involved as well. So I'm hoping there's those 3 guys up in front. So Marmoush will be there. Mane, I'm going with Mane in the midfield, right? For Senegal, I like their group. Senegal, I have, yeah. So Senegal group looks mid to easy, right? Guinea will give them some problems, but I like how they're looking. So Mane and Sa, same thing. This Bisa, he's the only one on that flank defensively, right? So looking at him, right? The other side, I don't know if it's the right or the left. They look like they have 2 options, so staying away from that for now. IU, I always liked Ghana, but I know Ghana was stronger in the past, right? But the 2 IU brothers, this IU, this is Andre IU. I believe he has more involvement with Ghana, right? Jordan IU is in the Premier League, but I find this IU has more contributions, so I went for him instead for Ghana. Their group are a little more difficult, so I only stick with one guy from there, right? Who else? Bellini, right? Algeria. He's 7.5, decently priced. He's involved, but I can't get Mahrez, so I'm hoping Bellini will feed off of that as well. So I did that in the 2 instances. The 2 instances where I didn't have Salah, I have Marmoush in front, and where I do have Mahrez, I'm bringing Bellini. And then Ivory Coast, I have two guys. I went with Bolly. We all know Bolly. This is
Yeah,
one of
of
the few
course.
names
One of my
actually.
favorite defenders. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And this whole squad, I probably only know like 3 or 4, like from seeing them playing, right? The rest of them are really going on just some research. And Gradel, I mean, I really want to get more Ivory Coast players, but they have a semi-hard group. This guy, he is involved, but he's a bit cheaper as well. So I have a small punt on him as well, right? My bench isn't anything to be talked about really, right?
I just say Max
Ndini, yeah, Ndini, 5.0, but he's a bit more defensive, right? So I won't play him first thing. He'll be there. Everybody else here is a 4.0, right? So Gomez, Nisi, News. Both of them, I saw like they play some games, but again, I don't know if their positions will be taken up if bigger players come in, right? But I saw that they played some games recently.
Right.
Even this keeper, he's a 4.0. Gabriel Michael, he played some games as well, but I'm still not too sure if he is the first pick. But I mean, I have a decent goalkeeper who could go up and down for the second round if I need it.
Correct. Yeah.
So-
Solid team. And you can see the research. And I like the idea, Ladimus. You see, so this is how we do it. I like the idea. You can't get Salah. You can't get Mahrez. Let's get the guys who play with them, might get some points off for them, get assists, might assist them.
Mhm.
Right? So that's the kind of guys you want. Ladimus, you have your team to share, or you want to just call out highlights? You have your anything, you have your screen, you can share anything you want to real quick?
Yeah, okay, I'll bring up my team. It's not good. I don't really think through properly. So I'm not good with this
Well,
way.
now you know that
I'll
you can
show
go
you.
back and change, right? You can.
Yeah, you can. You have like 3-4 days again.
You have a lot of time here. You can go back and change.
I might do that even this after the stream. I might do a stream on the first XI and with my fantasy. So yeah, but hold on, let me share.
Yeah, man, that's no problem, man. But right, so guys, as usual, the same
Well, look,
rules apply. Try and get
on the
in
left
with-
there is only 14 people in Trinidad playing now. So
Yeah, I realize
Can you
that.
see?
Yeah, boom,
Can you see
coming
my
up
screen?
now. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's live. Take it away.
Okay, so I wasn't really
Hmm.
thinking properly. I was just
Right.
because again, I don't like play fantasy a lot, and I'm not really like good at the sort of stuff. So that's just like, okay, I get Mendy, I'll get Koulibaly. I got Hakimi in, and I was looking kind of for cheaper options. That's why I went with Atal. I knew I know he's good, and I know he was quite cheap on the price range, and I just went with him for just extra fodder for center backs. I went for Ndidi in midfield because I figured, even though he is a defensive midfielder, you never know. Maybe he'll get a goal or an assist. If Nigeria,
Yeah, and he's a decent price. He's 5.2. He's a good price.
Yeah,
So
so he's cheap. Nigeria keep clean sheets. He'll be part of that. So that's added for him. I thought Salah, Mahrez, and Mane just because. And yeah, I didn't have much left in terms of my forward line, so I just went for more fodder. Yeah, I didn't think I said, I didn't think this through. I didn't do this properly. I'm gonna have to redo my teams.
Yeah, you could readjust. You could even try and keep. You could try. What you do, you keep the two. See if you pick, you have to pick two. So you take Salah or Mane. Let's say not Mahrez, but you take Mahrez, Mane, and then they try and build around. Could be just raise some. You could even bring in, as we said, you could bring in El Neni. You could bring in Partey is cheap. You know, there's cheap guys now. Just joking. But there's cheap guys that you could bring in that will play, because you're one guy that will play as well too. But now this is a team points. You are chasing the big points, and nothing is wrong with that, right? Sometimes that's why you play the fantasy. I even saw some guys on Twitter where they picked all EPL assets, only guys from EPL.
yeah, from EPL.
Yeah, and it was good, a good EPL 11, and there are lots of guys you could pick from a decent amount. You have a guy here, Saiz over Etal.
What did he say?
He said Saiz over Etal. Saiz.
No, I think Atal, he's a little more attacking, right? Saiz is a more centre back.
Yeah. No, but Saiz does get forward for Wolves.
Yeah, he does get forward for headers and for. I see he took a free kick.
Yeah.
Or he took the free kick, or was Cody who took the free kick in the last game?
It was Sai himself, yeah.
Besides, yeah, he took the free kick as well.
But
So
Yes.
I will quicker go with Ital. But I mean, I understand the suggestion. Thanks for that, there, Footy. Yeah, yeah,
Saiz is a center back. I went again. My thinking with it's the same I had with Hakimi.
yeah. Fullbacks, fullback.
They're attacking fullbacks. They'll get assists, getting in amongst the goals. And as a center back that or as a defender on FPL, I know that's deemed a lot more. So I just figured it'd just be worth having them in than just having another center back. And if they get a clean sheet, then it's not, it's not as worth as much as a defender getting a goal or getting an assist in that game.
Yeah. And that is primarily how we pick our FPL team as well. We try, yeah. If you look at our team, there'll be Trent, right? There'll be Lamptey, there'll be Tierney. I have Cody for personal reasons, but we won't get into that. It's not that type of show, right? Come on, but right, but we do normally pick wing backs, right? We are breaking off few rules here.
You have to say why did you pick Cody?
I have had Cody since game week 1. Ladimus, right? We are now in game week 21, approaching 22. And Cody has only failed me what, Kevin? Twice. But because he does twice with
he has only
disagree.
failed them all the times he has actually played them.
Right. And
Which is like twice.
when I bench him, but Cody is very solid. He gets the clean sheets and he gets bonus points. There are a few times where he'll block the goal, he'll save some goal line saves, and he gets bonus points. Sometimes he ends with 7 points or 8 points.
Yeah,
Right.
because Wolves are keeping a lot of clean sheets, like a lot more than people thinking. Yeah.
Right. When they played Manu yesterday, I wasn't afraid of that guy they call Ronaldo. I wasn't afraid. I have the goalkeeper from Wolves and Cody, and I was not afraid because I knew what they could do and what they're capable of, and that was our way. So yeah, I just love Cody for that. He's the only rule that I break in my FPL where he's.
But he loved him enough, but he was keeping him on the bench for a little too long. Yeah, you lost a lot of points with.
I lost a lot of points. I lost a lot of points with him.
Yeah. So.
Right. But guys, there you have it, the AFCON 2022 fantasy preview, right? And of course, there will be watch-alongs, there'll be lives. Ladimus, remind them again where they could find you. Remind them again what we're going to do this weekend, right? Talk to them. Let the people know what's happening. What's the plan for AFCON? The coverage that your channel is doing. Let them know the name of the channel. Bring it up if you want to, right? Anything, talk to us.
So yeah, we're going to be doing actually, yeah, I'll even bring up the channel name.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing coverage for AFCON on the first XI. Shout out to Dizzy and everyone. So many people getting involved, which I'm happy about. We're gonna on Saturday, 10 p.m. We're doing a preview stream. It's like previewing AFCON, talking about like favorites, dark horses, who and golden boot, etc., etc. Just smack talking each other basically. You two are welcome on. Anyone who wants to be a part of it as well is welcome. We've got so many people. I didn't think a lot of people would even want to be a part of this, like or be involved. But I'm so glad. It's looking like it'll be a full house. So,
yeah, you might have to rotate.
Rotate the panel, which
yeah.
I'm kind of worried about because I don't want to kick anyone or for people to get mad or anything. But I just I shared my screen. So
okay, so hold on. Sorry, bring it up again for you. Right, go ahead.
Yeah. So just the first XI on YouTube.
Boom.
That
Simple.
in there. Yeah, simple. Right. And on and on our Twitter is my screen can see. Yeah, that's our Twitter, the first XI. So just look us up on Twitter. You'll find us. Just type in the first XI _TV. Or no, that's not it. And that is us on YouTube. That is our YouTube channel. So yeah, that is it. You can also, I guess, follow me as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll be tweeting out everything that we do and everything. Get involved. If you want to be on any, we'll be doing watch-alongs for as many games as possible. At the weekends, we'll do a watch-along for all 3 games.
Right.
During the week, I work during the week, so we might not be able to do games early during the day, but we'll do the 8 o'clock kickoff games most definitely. So on I think on Monday, is it Monday or Tuesday when Nigeria are playing Egypt? I'll be at work. I won't be able to watch it live.
Watch that game, yeah.
Or maybe it's a good thing because if we lose, maybe it's a good thing. But right after the game, like late at night when we do the last games, and we're doing watch along for the last game, we'll also be talking about the games that happened beforehand.
Of course.
Come on.
I'll be there because some of these games start, the late games start when I'm now coming home from work, so I'll definitely be around. Yeah, man.
You'll be there. Dizzy will be there. Lots of Gunner Express and everyone. You guys hear them all on Spaces, smack talking each other. They'll be on the stream. A lot of smack talk. A lot of verbal, a lot of mouth abuse. Hopefully, Ghana fail so Dizzy can shut his mouth for once. I'd love to see you guys. Come through, whether it be in the comments or I'll put the link out if anyone wants to come in. Like, it'll be fun. I love AFCON. It's a big part, and let's show the world why we're an actual. AFCON's it should be a respected tournament and taken a lot more seriously, and why everyone should love it just as much as they watch the Euros and everything else. And let's show them what Africa can do, basically.
With that 100%. Thanks very much, Ladimus, for coming through. Kevin, as usual, thanks for coming through. And Ladimus, let me just, right, before we get into that, I want to do something cheeky, right? And I'm going to clip it and we'll send it for Dizzy. But before we do that, Kevin, as usual, what is our usual advice that we give people, our solid advice that we give before we sign off, our fantasy advice, Kevin?
Well, it can't be the same always Captain Salah advice, right? No, we can't do that anymore.
We didn't even talk about that, captains. Woo! Because there's no way to keep. Okay, either Captain Mahrez, Mane, or Salah. That's it.
Salah, yeah.
That's a simple advice.
Look at the more expensive people that you have and look at that as a captain, yeah.
I may do what I'm doing in Champions League and Captain Halle, because I captain Halle for my Champions League fantasy. So I may do that, right?
I may do a Cambi from home side playing striker.
Solid. And of course, guys, please don't forget, to click that save button. You're getting excited, you're picking your players, your girlfriend distracted, your boyfriend distracted, the dog barking. No,
you can show them. You can show them the save button as well, huh?
Right? Please make sure and click that save button. It is a bit hidden on this one. It's not as pronounced as it is on the FPL website.
Yeah, I'll bring up your page again.
I'll bring up my page real quickly. Right, but guys, please,
so go to transfers, make your transfers, and then click save.
Right, make your transfer. So and click. Look at this, save team. Please make sure and click that button. It is crucial. And don't
let the fantasy pavilion distract you as well.
Right, guys. So as usual, guys, happy picking. Make sure and subscribe. Of course, we have so subscribe to First Excite, subscribe to the Fantasy Pavilion, show us some love. Join us on the watch along. So I'll be there on their channel, bigging up the AFCON 2022, and of course trying to big up Mali and push Mali forward. Of course, Kevin, when I pick a team, that team normally does well. So we're hoping hoping that happens. And of course, Ladimus, I want to leave a message for Dizzy. Can we please let the world know the best jollof rice? Let them know. With pride, Ladimus. Let them know what the best jollof rice is, please.
Everyone knows Nigerian jollof is the best. Like, it's not a discussion. It's not an argument. This is not Messi, Ronaldo debate. It's not who's the biggest club in North London, Arsenal or Spurs. This is not United, Liverpool, who's the biggest club in England. It's not Real Madrid, Barcelona. It's not a discussion. It's Nigeria.
Simple. Don't at me. Don't at Ladimus. That's it. Jollof rice, Nigerian. Dizzy, you get it here first. Right, guys, we're signing out. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for all the contributors, Cameron North, Footy Tata. Thanks for everyone that asked their questions and liked and subscribed. So far, we moved up to 155. Thanks so much for that, guys. And of course, we'll see you guys Sunday when the action starts. And of course, we'll be doing some shorts on our Twitter. So big up the AFCON 2022, guys. Let's go.